Hi everybody, so today we're going to learn a little bit about plot structure. So, why do we really need plot structure? Well, according to Caleb O., plot is the driving force behind every piece of literature. Without it, there's no conflict which compels characters to strive for their goal, and therefore, no story. In short, it would be just like life, with all its ups and downs and people just living their lives. So, to avoid that, we have the exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. So, we're going to look at this like a mountain, and at the base of the mountain, we have the exposition. The exposition is all of the beginning story. It introduces the conflict, the characters, and the setting. So, for example, we're going to use Beauty and the Beast. So, Beauty and the Beast begins with background information about the prince who is turned into a beast. He must have someone fall in love with him before his 21st birthday to break the spell, or he will remain a beast forever. Then, we meet Belle, a young girl who lives in a nearby village who longs for adventure. When Belle's father is lost in the woods and Belle searches for him, the action begins to rise, which leads us into the rising action. The rising action includes the events before the climax. So, this is when characters attempt to solve their problems, but they fail. Here, things really begin to build. So, as for Belle, she falls in love with the beast. Then the beast allows Belle to leave the castle to visit her sick father, but Gaston has locked him up. This leads us to the climax. The climax is the turning point of the story. It has the greatest suspense or action. This is the most intense part of the story. So, Gaston goes to kill the beast. He stabs him and thinks he killed the beast, but Belle says she loves him, and the spell is broken, which leads us into the falling action. This is the events that occur after the climax. Here, we begin to tie up some loose ends. So, Belle realizes that she loves the beast in his human form, and all the objects, like Chip, return to their human form as well. And then, we finally conclude at the base of the mountain with the resolution. The resolution is the end of the story where all the conflicts and problems are resolved. So, in Disney form, Belle and the prince get married and live happily ever after. So, let's review. The exposition is like an introduction. Here we meet all the characters and the settings and we learn about the problems. And then we get to the rising action. Here we develop those problems, fail at solving them, and eventually get to the climax, the most intense part of the story, the one that has you on your toes, the one that won't let you stop reading or watching. And then, once all the intensity has died down, we get to the falling action. We begin to slope back down the mountain, we tie up those loose ends, and we get to the end of the story. So, now, you're going to try it. So, I want you to take one of your favorite stories and graph the plot structure of that story.